Welcome to Foundations Are Us, where we build knowledge from the ground up.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Foundations Are Us, where we build knowledge from the ground up. Welcome to Module 1, Siting Analysis, Part A, The Basics. In this video, we're going to break down what a construction siting plan is, why it matters, and how to read one with confidence, even if you've never seen one before. What is a siting plan? Let's start with the big picture. A siting and grading plan shows how a house fits onto a specific lot. It includes property lines, building location, elevations, slopes, and utility connections. Think of it as the blueprint for how the building interacts with the land. Everything from drainage to foundation height is determined here. Orientation and lot context. As we look at the plan, notice the street name, Moss Drive, at the bottom. That tells us the front of the lot. The house sits back from the street with defined setbacks on all sides. Each neighboring lot is also labeled, like Lot 74, 75, and 76, so we understand spacing and grading relationships between the homes. Let's quickly talk about critical information, elevations, and inverts. All right, you're looking at your legend, and honestly, this is where most people get lost. This section breaks down all the symbols and abbreviations on the plan. On the left, you've got your utilities and site elements, things like water services, sanitary and storm connections, hydro, sump pump, and even swell direction. On the right, this is the big one, you've got your elevation markers. FF is your finished floor, TFW is your top foundation wall, BF is your basement floor, and UF is your underside of footing. And you'll also see front and rear footing elevations. These numbers define the exact vertical position of your home. If you misunderstand this section, everything else can go wrong. So this is your reference point for the entire drawing. Here are some key notes about elevations. In the zoomed in image of Lot 75, this is a satellite image, a bird's eye view of the building. All key elevations, building envelopes, utilities, and property lines are all established on the siting. You'll also note that the elevations on this siting are all measured in meters above sea level. So for example, the top foundation wall of Lot 75 is 223.50 meters above sea level. Now let's talk about swales and exterior grading. Let's take a look at how water actually moves across the property. These highlighted green lines show your swales, basically shallow drainage paths designed to direct water away from the home. You'll also notice arrows in slopes, like 2%, 3%, things like that. That tells you the direction and steepness of the grade. The goal here is simple. Keep water moving away from the foundation. If grading is done incorrectly, water can pool around the house, and that's where you start getting leaks or foundation issues. So this part of the plan isn't just landscaping, it's critical for protecting the structure of your home. Let's discuss building setbacks and property lines. Now we're looking at where the house sits on the lot. These red highlighted lines represent your property boundaries and setbacks. And those numbers, like 8.21, 7.34, or 21.06, those are distances from the house to the property lines in meters. These are regulated by zoning, which means you don't have any flexibility here. The house must be built within these limits, no exceptions. You'll also see how this ties into neighboring lots, making sure spacing between homes is consistent and compliant. This is what ensures everything is legally placed on the property. Now, let's discuss elevation markers. Now we're zooming in on one of the most important parts of the plan. Right here, these highlighted numbers, this is the elevation data for the house. Let's break it down. Now keep in mind, all numbers are in meters above sea level. Your finished floor is 223.8. Top of foundation wall, 223.5. Basement floor, 220.9. And underside of footing is 220.67. All of these are measured relative to the global elevation reference, not just the ground nearby. This tells builders exactly how high each part of the structure needs to be. So when everything is built, from the footing to the finished floor, it lines up perfectly with the grading, drainage, and surrounding lots. Builder notes. Always read the notes in the legend section carefully prior to construction start. Typically, items may be added and or removed, and requirements may vary from site to site and from municipality to municipality. Always verify all site service locations, sanitary, storm if applicable, and their inverts to ensure proper drainage. Verify underground utility trench locations to the unit by cross-referencing your hydroelectric drawings, or what we call the CUP. If the sightings do not show the lateral on the plan, always refer to the CUP for accuracy. Confirm soils conditions with your geotechnical engineer and cross-reference the siting to the engineered fill certification you will receive from your developer. Ensure everything matches, as critical inspections are required for units built on engineered soil. These aren't suggestions, these are requirements. Municipalities require all stamped geotechnical reports prior to occupancy issuance. By following this practice, you ensure accuracy and a true quality build. That concludes the video for today for Siting Analysis, the Basics, Module 1. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you all learned something today. Please keep in mind, so when you put all of this together, the legend tells you what everything means, the grading controls the water flow, the setbacks control the placement, and the elevations control the height. Miss any of these, and small errors can turn into big problems on site in the future. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video.